Painting with Menoth John is presented in Super Legitivision. Super Legitivision, the future of podcasting. It's .com.
Hello, I'm
Menoth John.
and I'd like to welcome you. First of all, let me take just a moment to thank you for allowing me back into your homes. If this is your first time with us, let me extend a personal invitation for you to drag out your
miniatures
and paint along with us each week. Let's go over to the canvas here and let's get started. I believe, every day's a good day when you paint. I believe, it'll bring a lot of good thoughts to your heart. I believe, every day's a good day when you paint. I believe, it'll bring a lot of good thoughts to your heart. Let's build a happy little cloud. Let's build some happy little trees. There are no limits here. You start out by believing here. You can almost paint with anything. All you have to do is practice.
Yes, ladies and gentlemen, all you've got to do is practice, and fuck, we practice this podcasting shit weekly. Ladies and gentlemen, I recorded with the D6 generation for about 2 hours on Friday. That meant I couldn't swear for 2 hours. That's a long time for me, so
God.
Fucking A, here we go, ladies and gentlemen. It's going to be a good time, folks. You'll notice behind me the amazingness that is the new set, ladies and gentlemen, coming to you from literally a Bob Ross photo. Here is tonight's Painting with Menoth John. I am, of course, your quickly aging and mostly gray host, Menoth John. And up here in the mighty right hand, you thought you were going to get John Spencer, but instead we've brought you a buff Asian man. He is my War Machine wife, Mr. Chili Winters.
Hello, everyone. You flatter me, John.
Oh, you are just as good as it gets. And I am going. And then, we just start the show, and what is the first thing that happens? The 10-year-old sticks his head in. For Christ's sakes, ladies and gentlemen. Anyway, so there you go. Ladies and gentlemen, we've gotten a very exciting show tonight coming to you from this mountain lake here, as it were. Right now with John Spencer, he had some internet problems. Chili, technology is our friend here on the Painting with Menoth John show.
Mm-hmm.
And he had a lightning strike or some nonsense, and literally the finger of God came down and destroyed his cable modem. And because Comcast is what Comcast is, they weren't coming out on a Sunday. Fuck that
Hell
shit.
no.
That was not in their playbook, that's for sure. And so we asked Mr. Chili to be here, and we are thrilled to have you on the show.
Mm-hmm. I'm very happy to be here again.
Yep, it is. It's fantastic. So for those of you who don't know, this is not Chili's first appearance. You have to go back to episode 69 to find Chili Winters before. So you have now entered the ranks of people we've had on the show more than once. That's got to be worth something, right?
Yes. Mm-hmm.
And we are super excited to have you back. We are going to do Drunk Dojo tonight because I've given up beer, so I'm drinking whiskey the whole time. And what are you having? I've got some Kraken right here. This is not whiskey. This is rum, as a matter of fact. And I am drinking it in a Painting with Menoth John shot glass. Chili, what are you having for your beverage this evening?
I am drinking, if you can see it, also in the Menoth John shot glass,
Nice.
the one that survived its trip to Poland. I am actually drinking Johnny Walker Blue tonight.
Ooh, Johnny Walker Blue. That's some good shit right there.
Yes, I am out of my normal stuff, so I'm not going to be drinking a lot of it because that bottle is way too damn expensive.
That's like $100 bottle of scotch, isn't it?
A little bit more.
Oh shit! Oh shit!
Yeah, I got it one day. I can't remember what had happened, but it was a long week at work. I was like, I am rewarding myself, and so my roommate there, and he was like, "Hey, I want to try this anyway." It's like, all right, so now we have it.
Nice.
But
and so that thank you very much for drinking such a fine distilled spirit on the show.
Oh, the show is absolutely worth it.
Oh my God. So ladies and gentlemen, this is the part of the show where we also raise our glass and thank each and every one of you for being a part of the show. On behalf of Mr. Chili Winters and John Spencer in absentia, hey, Ron.
Ron. Oh, that is tasty.
So I was going to be painting a Gobber Tinker on the show. That's not going to happen. I'm giving up on painting early and often tonight. It's probably not going to happen. But we are going to be doing some Drunk Dojo this evening. Rich Brotman is wearing a funny hat in West Seneca and drinking shit tons of beer. So he's normally on our Drunk Dojo shows, but he will not be with us this evening, nor will Bubba, King of the North, Dalton. But what we do have here, folks, I need you all, if you're watching this show and hearing my voice, to fire up your Pokemon Go applications, because during the show, you may see some very rare Pokemon coming up that you need to, you can point your phone at the screen and capture it. And if you tweet those pictures to @MenothJohn on Twitter, we will be deeply appreciated. So, keep an eye out for them. They could come up at almost literally any time. And oh my God, I think there's one coming in now. Oh my God, it's a Jonachu. Ladies and gentlemen, there you see the rare Jonachu coming up on there. So, I
cannot wait to see these later. Oh my God!
Do you have your stream up by any chance?
Oh, I do now. I see it now.
Okay, so there you have it. He could be anywhere right now. Now you have to keep in mind he's going to be moving around, so literally anything could be happening. So make sure that you're throwing that Pokeball quite accurately, and you could catch a rare Jonachu. He won't be with us for very long, I don't think. So there you go. The other thing that we have going for us. Oh, and there he goes. Oh, so if you didn't catch the Jonachu, maybe later on in the show he may make another appearance. You can never tell. It's very rare, Chili.
Mm-hmm. Indeed.
I noticed that you're an affiliate of the Yellow Gym.
Absolutely. Team Instinct all the way. I do feel kind of bad because I convinced everyone else at Asgard, including Will, to join Red Team. But then I realized that Red Team was Team Moltres, and that bird is just trash. So now I'm on the right team.
Nice.
Best team.
Outstanding. Folks, we have a little thing we like to call Poll of the Show. And we did a poll to ask how popular Poll of the Show was, because that's meta as shit. And we found out that of the 3 new things we did last week, which was Poll of the Show, Unplayable Trash List, and Snacky Cam, which was a camera pointed at my cat, Snacky did really poorly.
Oh, that's sad. I would have expected Snacky Cam to do way better.
Snacky's very photogenic, but he's no Pickles. He's not Pickles the War Machine cat, which is Richard Botman's cat. And so I think that Snacky had an uphill battle, to say the least. But much in the same way that Nappy surrendered the presidency for life of War Machine and Hordes to me, Snacky has decided to no longer run for most popular cat in War Machine and Hordes. So, yes, I know Zosha would probably have something to say about whose cat is more popular, but she hasn't been on the show in a while, so we'll have to get her back on now. Anyway, so, there's let's see, what else we got? We got the poll of the show. So let's talk about the poll of the show. This week, we asked the Brushheads, it's Saturday, and this week, what are you waiting for the most from Privateer? And the 4 categories that we put up there were BattleBox casters you can actually buy, hard plastic colossals, models from 2 books ago, or nothing in particular. So we put that out there. We had 95 votes. That's 30 more votes than we had on the last poll of the show, so I'm very excited about that. But it should come as no surprise that the winner this time was models from 2 books ago. Chili, you and I spent most of the pre-ramble talking about this particular issue.
Yes, indeed. And this was definitely my vote, so I am feel validated now that the majority of people agreed with me on it. But yeah, I really would like to have some of the models. Like, I'm in War Room right now, or whenever I'm creating lists, man, this is great. I don't have 40 of these points. That's okay. Well, we have to scrap that until it comes out. But yeah, it's just stop. It's infuriating. I understand that they need to keep making books and keeping people interested in the game by releasing new models is a huge deal. But if all I'm looking at is the cards, and if I'm not allowed to also just modify and kit bash and put things together, because if you were just allowed to do that, that'd be great, right?
Mm-hmm.
Because especially in Europe, where it's a lot looser and there aren't, and it's not an official IG tournament, so a lot of times at Masters events, you just see models that are just awesome looking, and they're not the official one. Is it the Rager or whatever the Kador Shield Guard one is? People have been putting that thing together for at least a year.
Europe
of course,
has
you
a
can't play it
tradition.
officially, but
Europe has a tradition of kit bashing because of all the work that with Games Workshop. Games Workshop, for all their faults, has never really had too terrible of a problem with people kit bashing, if I'm not mistaken.
yeah, which is a lot of the times why you see. I'll just pierce some of the veil. So, whenever someone is trying to get a conversion approved for the WTC, they'll email the committee, and then we'll all take a look. The 5 or 6 of us, or however many there happen to be on the committee, will look and say, yes, this looks like it could pass. No, it can't. And you never see that stuff from like American teams or Canadians or anything like that, because they're like American and Canadian teams here are very by the book. We bought the model. This is what it is.
Yeah.
Whereas there was a Vlad. Can I say this? Whatever. I'm going to say it.
Yeah, say it.
There's a Vlad that we. It's like maybe I should have checked with Norbert about this, but whatever. He'll forgive me or not. There was a Vlad that we got that's the body is from some product line that I don't recognize at all, but they put his shoulder pads and his 2 weapons in his hand. It's like, yeah, I know what that is. It's approved. Whereas you would never see that anywhere else.
Yeah,
so.
I mean, Vlad is essentially a pair of shoulder pads and a couple of weapons, a long one and a short one. If you see that, you're cool.
Correct. And then like stuff like the Rager, that's still people have been sending in like, this is a Rager. It's like, yes, I clearly know what that is. It's a Kador Jack with a shield. Like that's actually all you need to see. It could just be a red thing carrying around a shield, and I would know what it is. But
yeah, so I think that gets this kind of a poll. And you mentioned the Canadians, and I'm feeling like, oh my God, there he is, ladies and gentlemen. It's another for the rare Pokemon. It's a Bulbasaur. Ladies and gentlemen, King of the North, get your Pokemon Go out. You're going to want to capture this one. He is the King of the North, and he's running around now. Make sure you capture him before he leaves. He has some official decrees to give. He's going to decree that everyone have fun in Mark III, but we don't know how. So and he's gone already. Oh, ladies and gentlemen, you might have missed the Bulbasaur here on
I like
Painting.
his crown the most.
It is the actual crown of Westeros, as it turns out. So,
yeah.
We're very excited about getting models from 2 books ago. Hashtag shitty supply chain, which may or may not have caused Painting with Menoth John to happen because I got shit canned off of another podcast. So, turns out they can't even threaten Muse anymore. So
exactly. Now exactly, and they can't. I mean, they can threaten me, but at this point, whatever. Let them do it.
What are they going to do? Threaten Libsyn? I mean, honest to God, like Libsyn's like, who are you? So, other things, I'm excited for hard plastic colossals. I mean, I'm really looking forward to getting a Retribution Colossal that I don't have to completely remake the miscast resin torso of. That'll be exciting. And Battle Box casters, I'm a little envious of Brush Chewer, to be honest, because she got her hands on one of the Menoth boxes, but I have 2 Vanquishers, and I have plenty of Protectorate. I just need the dude, and he looks sweet.
Yeah. And that guy is sweet too. Just from a model standpoint and a rule standpoint, he's solid.
Yeah, he's really good.
But I agree that you don't need all that extra stuff.
Yeah, so it's very difficult for me to step up to the plate on that kind of stuff. So, Chili, any other comments on the poll of the show? I think that we're feeling the pulse, if you will, of your average brush head. We had 100 votes this time. That's that's like almost a 50% increase in responses from the last poll in the show. Remember, folks, as much as we love the PwMenothJohn.com, we really love to get you over there on the Twitter because Facebook is a bunch of hot fucking garbage. And now that I've reached 1,000 likes, they don't really reach out to anybody anymore. So we have stepped up our game on the Twitters. And we're going to make it entertaining for you, if nothing else.
Yes.
Speaking of... go ahead.
Oh, sorry. Just the one last thing about the poll. The hard plastic colossals, certainly excited for that. I will say that the hard plastics are awesome. It's way better than the restic or plastic or whatever you want to call their resin that is just like it almost is so bad that I want to give up when I assemble some of them. But here's just interesting note: the hard plastics have to come in all those extra small pieces, right? Which takes a lot of time to assemble, just because it's so many pieces.
Yeah.
And the rumor I have heard, and of course this is kind of ties into both. the desert hydra, the
Oh yeah, the gargantuan.
that giant stupid thing. I heard a rumor that whoever assembled it for Privateer Press, it took them over 10 hours.
Holy Christ!
Let that sink in. Like someone whose job it is to assemble models, cut them clean, and this is from box, so it wasn't like the pieces were already taken out of the sprue, but it took him like 10 hours, and he's very fast at it because that's what his job is. So it's you just think about that, like, wait, it took me like an hour to put together a Reliant. Like it's a heavy warjack. How like I would just give up. I can't even fathom doing that much.
An hour to assemble a model is crazy talk. I mean, when you get to the Colossals and the Gargantuans, where you have a lot of cleanup to do in order to get to the point where you can actually assemble it, that's one thing. But man, the Reliant is not that big.
Yeah, exactly. But it's like, I mean, part of it was there's just so many pieces, and you're like, where do they go together? Some of it's kind of intuitive, some of it's not.
Yeah.
But the hard plastics are great to put together. They just are time consuming. So when you blow that up to something that's like the Hydra, of course, it's your problem is just multiples more. So I'm very interested to see if that holds true. I mean, it could have been hyperbole, but just based on what I've seen from, for example, the Kraken and Sepulchre, I can easily see that Hydra just being just a massive, massive undertaking.
Well, speaking of massive undertakings, ladies and gentlemen, it would be remiss with having Chili on the show if we did not have a very special guest in the studio. And we've been toying around with who we might want to invite on the show with him coming along. And I think that one of our most long-standing sponsors has been it's not sponsors, but spokesmodels, if you will, has been, of course, Luchador Bottle Opener. And with Chili on the show, Luchador Bottle Opener said, "Hey man, I want to be on the show." So on behalf of the many sponsors of the Painting with Menoth John, and on behalf of Chili Winners, ladies and gentlemen, Luchador Bottle Opener for the folks who are silly enough to sponsor this show. Hey Chili, I am very happy to see you, even though sometimes I sound a little bit French. So, it's hard when I have a mask, this stuff, to sound like I am really, authentically luchador. Sometimes I sound like that Foxy Brown, and, I'm here today to talk to you about the things that you should be buying, because this is a miniatures game. This ain't no fucking board game shit. You got to buy stuff for this hobby. So I recommend, first off, that, Mexico, we use the metric system because it's not the English system, and we got nothing to do with the English. And so we suggest you go with Canadian terrain. It's cold up there. Luchador's not going to be seen anywhere near Canada, but what he will be seen near is Greenleaf terrain. That shit is legit. It is green. It uses the millimeters. It's got a deciliter in it. It's got a couple of, you could drive it for kilometers in your car if you had it in your car. So I recommend to you the Greenleaf terrain. Chili, I'm reaching out to you now, and you play with terrain, right?
Absolutely.
In Mark III, you use more terrain than you've ever used before, right?
Mm-hmm.
Well, shit. Why aren't you not using the Greenleaf terrain?
I will definitely have to check it out.
Man,
Bottle opener,
Adam's a nice guy. Menoth John's even met him, and he's like really a nice guy. Canadians, what do you want? They're all nice.
Yeah, exactly.
I mean, it's like they got gangs up there, but instead of like knifing you, they go, "I'm sorry." They apologize to you until you give them their money. So, that's Greenleaf terrain. They'll put a deciliter in it for you. That's their motto. A deciliter in every model, or terrain, or whatever the fuck they're selling. Then we got Flight Medic. He's in Michigan. You should feel bad about that. And he'll paint something for you. Red, green, blue. It's like Detroit cars. He'll give them to you in any color you want. So, but way better than Detroit cars for sure. Flight Medic, it's all that. KR Multi-Case. There's been some shakeups over there at the KR Multi-Case. Some changes in people, but they're still super sweet and totally legit. Chili, I got to ask you another question. This is a rare opportunity for me as Luchador Bottle Opener to have you on the show. And if you could put your models in any dairy product, what dairy product would it be?
Oh man, that'd be hard, but probably butter.
That's right. You would put it in butter. Why? Because then your models would be on a roll. And who doesn't want to have your models on a roll like you would have them if you were putting them in KR Multicase? I'm telling you right now, that blue foam is impregnated with butter, which means you should probably put your KR Multicase in the fridge or else it will go rancid. And nobody wants to put your models up against rancid foam. So buy a new refrigerator and put your KR Multicase because they don't use preservatives. No preservatives in KR Multicase. It's like organic or some shit. Or, I don't know. Maybe it's not organic. Depends on your view on organic. Anyway, so also, special. Hey, I'm going to come up close to the camera for this one. Ladies and gentlemen, I got a special announcement. This is just from me, the Luchador Bottle Opener, to you, the Brushhead. Next week, we're going to have David D.C. Carl on the show. And let me tell you, that guy's legit. He's all about the clockwork phoenixes. Dumbledore had a phoenix. His shit wasn't clockwork. And look what happened to Dumbledore. That guy died. Oh, shit. Spoilers. So I'm so sorry. Snape, I'm looking at you, man. That no bueno. Anyway, so I'm going to tell you that much like Dumbledore, Clockwork Phoenix is super legit and totally sweet. So, DC, he knows all about making games. Do you know that, Chili?
Oh, absolutely. He's one of the best.
He is, the reason this game doesn't suck total ass is mostly because of DC. And now he's over there with the Clockwork Phoenix, and he's struck up several deals with the Steamforged games, which means Steamforged games is totally sweet and super legit. Although they don't sponsor us yet, we're going to work on that. I got lawyers, I got peoples. We're going to have lunch. It's going to be amazing. And, maybe they come on the show. You never know. But anyway, so Clockwork Phoenix, DC, we're going to have a State of Miniatures Gaming next week on the Painting with Matt John show. Now that I've changed the painting cam, and you can see Menoth John's lips move, this is less effective. But he's just channeling me, is what it boils down to. So that's all our sponsors. But the most important sponsor, Brushheads, I'm looking at you, is you. And without the Patreon.com, Menoth John will lose his will to live. So get over there to www.patreon.com/MenothJohn if you give a shit about this show. Because the lights, they don't keep on for themselves. He lives in the United States, and they don't use, metric shit for they don't get, I don't know, what's a metric light unit? The millilight thing or something. And he has to pay watts. What the fuck is a watt? And he has all of them. So he has to pay for them, and the best way to pay for them is with patreon.com/MenothJohn. He'll send you a bottle opener. You can use it as a mask. See? There's a mask, and there's some, I don't know what's that shit hanging off of it. Anyway, he won't send you that, but he'll send you the bottle opener. And at the $5 level, and you will get exclusive access to all the salty shit we talked about before we started the main show. It's super salty, but you'd enjoy it. So, on behalf of
there's some salt in there. Oh my god.
Oh, I tell you, my mask almost fell off. It was so salty. And I will tell you, on behalf of the Michael Chili winners, my all-time favorite, and Menoth John, I am Luchador Bottle Opener. You have a good night. There we go, folks. Luchador Bottle Opener for all the sponsors of the Painting with Menoth John show. I got to get a special kind of fucked up to do that stuff. I'll tell you what.
Yeah, indeed.
Oh, my God. Here we go. What I think I see it. Guys, get your Pokemon Go ready. It's a very special Pokemon. Ladies and gentlemen, it's a Chili Chew. Oh, no, it's what? I don't even know what this is. But, Chili, you've become a Pokemon. What is that?
That's pretty terrifying. Yep. I don't know what to tell you.
Could be could be the biggest Pokemon ever, folks. This is one you're not going to get anywhere else. Literally, oh my God, he's on my face. What are you doing on my face, Chili Chew or whatever you are? Oh my God. Anyway, ladies and gentlemen, I hope you're throwing your Pokeballs at the screen right now because this shit could go away at literally any second, and it did. Boom. There you
Yeah,
go.
it couldn't happen soon enough.
All right, folks.
Yeah, haunting.
This has been too much fun. But we have some legit shit we're gonna do for you tonight, ladies and gentlemen, here on the Painting with Menoth John Sunday Night Extravaganza. We have overstayed the first segment's welcome, and we are going to bring up, of course, we're going to bring up the War Room Cam, which we are so well known for on this show. There it is, ladies and gentlemen, the War Room Cam. And we're going to do some drunk dojo tonight. Chili, I have put you in a difficult spot tonight, and we are going to reach out to you and ask you, what caster should we dojo against tonight? First, we're going to do several.
All right, so the first one comes from Sassy Greyjoy, and she's asking us to dojo the Bane Witch Agatha, or Agathea, or whatever, the new Cryx lady one.
I have no fucking idea what that caster does, so let's bring her up.
Yes, I have looked at her. Like when all these got released, we've looked at them. Down at Asgard, Tom Guan and Will, and all of us went through it. So,
does Tom live in Houston now, or where is he based out of?
That is a good question. Officially, he is living in Australia this year for school because he is playing for Australia on their WTC team. However, he has been in Houston the past 2 weeks, and now he's in Wisconsin for the team tournament there.
Oh my God, he's within 20 miles of me.
Yes, so he is. I mean, Tom Guan is just a citizen of the world. So,
fact.
Yeah. So. But yeah, we've discussed all these, but I don't remember because that was a while ago.
Okay, so
and Tom isn't really playing Cryx right now, so let's see what this lady does.
All right, so Bane Witch Agathea is she's a 7-focus caster, of course, because she's fucking Cryx. And she's speed 6, strength 6, match 7, rat 4. She's a 15-15, which we're seeing a lot of sort of that 15-15 sort of caster these days. She's got a POW 12 magic sword called Death Kiss. Who wants to kiss that? And we have Dark Shroud, as I throw up into the microphone. That's super great audio. And then she's got Soul Taker, so she can get souls within 2 inches of her, and then they become focus the turn after. So pretty normal stuff there. She's undead, big shock. And then her spell list. She has Ghost Walk for 2 focus. And that's a range 6. Target friendly faction model unit gains Ghostly. So that avoids all your obstacles and whatnots except for other models, which is important. Hellfire, which is a POW 14, not even remotely shitty nuke, which is range 10 and it costs 3. Which I understand a Skarlock can cast quite well. She's got Hellrot, which appears to be her signature spell. Target Warjack in the spellcaster's battle group gains +2 arm and retaliation, which is if you're damaged by an enemy attack during the last round, you walk 3 inches and whack somebody with a basic attack. So it's like it's a lot like what do they call that? The vengeance, holy vengeance or righteous vengeance.
Yeah.
And then Parasite, because Cryx shit doesn't hit quite hard enough, so let's debuff the arm by 3.
Yeah.
And then Vanish, which is a 1-cost spell. Place a spellcaster anywhere completely within 3 inches of its current location. Vanish can only be cast once per activation. So, shitty teleport. Mm-hmm. So, then we have her feat, which is friendly faction model units currently in Agathea's control area get Ghost Walk. While in the control range, they also get Stealth. Additionally, when a Warjack in Agathea's battle group ends its activation in her control range, you can immediately place that model anywhere completely within 3 inches of its location. So essentially, your jacks get 3 inches, and everybody gets Stealth. So it's like what's Kalissa's feat, except you get your jacks get to move 3 inches, get to place within 3 inches. So that's her card. So now we're supposed to come up with some kind of a list that takes advantage of this. So I'm going to put her.
Alrighty.
Okay, that's where she is.
Agathea.
I'm going to go back to the screen. I'm going to build an army, create new army. Agathea. And I will put this list after the show. It will be up on the patron site.
Let us see.
We'll build a 75-pointer, don't you think?
Yeah, 75 is the new tournament list, which I'm sure I would hope everyone knows. So, yeah, don't build anything less than that, unless you're specifically going for some weird tournament thing.
Okay. Wonky Kong in the chat room is suggesting the Death Jack.
The Death Jack is always solid, and anytime there's an armor buff, on a Cryx caster card, he always just benefits just a ton of it because he's so absurd at 1319 and 1321 just puts him over the top. But because I mean, why not?
And he can cast the Hellfire too, which is a wonderful thing.
Yeah, it's so dumb.
Does he still does his skull still give him up to 5 focus?
Yep.
Yeah, that's
he can still have 5 because why not?
Yeah.
But yeah, I would throw him in. In terms of attachments, it's really hard not to put the Wither Shadow Combine into things now, so I would just start with him as well.
Okay. And the Wither Shadow Combine, let's take a quick look at what they've become in, let's see, where are you? Where are the Wither Shadow Combine?
They're an attachment now.
Jesus Christ.
Yeah, so, which I think is fine. I mean, but yeah. When they're competing with the Scarlock, it's like I just look at them like, yeah, I'm gonna put them in like pretty much every time.
Yeah, and they've got Darkfire, they've got Spell Slave, just like a
Scarlock.
Just like a Scarlock. Yeah, why wouldn't you? I mean, they're 9 points, but that's fine because things in Cryx are super expensive.
Yes.
So we've got the Wither Shadow Combine and Death Jack, and that really I think boosts up. I mean, literally, you're talking about casting 3 Hellfires a turn with your eyes closed without really even thinking about it. So
yeah, exactly.
All right, so I'm trying to think here as we look at this. Ghost Walk is fine, I guess. Do you think she needs an Arc Node?
I would just take an Arc Node just because it's always good to have at least one. It can run out there, and with power up being what it is, you don't now have to put what do you call it? You don't have to like worry about wasting your focus to make it run. So the positioning is not as bad. So yeah, I would put probably just one of them in.
How about a Ripjaw?
What's the cheapest one?
Ripjaws are 7. What is the what the fuck do they call it? The Death Ripper. That's 6. So the Ripjaw for 1 point gets you the armor piercing, if I'm not mistaken.
Oh, but it's critical armor piercing now.
Oh, okay. But it does have powerful attack.
Oh, that's good. Oh, wait, what is it? God, yeah, I'm just showing how much I have not reviewed.
I know, right? It's okay.
Rules.
This is welcome to Painting with Menoth John, where facts don't matter, and we do the best we can. Let's look at the Ripjaw and to see what the Ripjaw is like in Mark III. We had not Ripjaw, but the Death Ripper. Man, drinking, it's a thing. Sustained attack still, POW 12. It's an Arc Node, 6 points. I don't know. It's a little less focus heavy than the I mean, literally, if you put a Ripjaw in there, you're probably going to want to have another focus on it.
Yeah.
So let's start with the Death Ripper and see what we go from there. 2 death.
Yes.
Brush Chew are saying 2 Death Rippers.
I don't hate that.
Okay.
Always having an extra Arc Node is not a bad thing. And now you can have up to 3 things that could be blasting them. So.
All right.
Yep,
so,
I don't hate that.
All right, we're gonna go ahead and get back there. We're gonna put another Death Ripper in here. Death Ripper. Boom. All right, we got 2 in there. So we're at only 15 points of 75 at this point, and we've used up all of the we've used up all of the jack points, so to speak. How much are the Defiler and the Hellwretch? Yeah, so let's look at that. The Defiler is 8 points. That's expensive compared to the Death Ripper. It is a spray 8, which sprays are sweet, and it's automatic corrosion. By the way, the new art for the Death Ripper is pretty good. At least it looks like something that should spray. Yeah. And then the Defiler is 8 point. Let's see, we already talked about the Defiler. We need to talk about the Night Wretch, which is 7 points. It's only a range 6 AoE 3. Range 6. It's a POW 14 though, for Christ's sakes.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah, Cryx has so many good options. I mean, it just depends on what you're wanting. Because if you want the versatility, like these guys are obviously better, but they're more expensive. But then for the sheer value, like the Death Rippers are just so good because they're so dirt cheap.
Let's go ahead and let's stick with what we've got so far. Now, let's look at that spell list again. And in Mark 3, the one of the big complaints that I've heard a lot about with the Cryx is that Banes are no longer worth it. What's your opinion?
Mean, that's just not believable.
So,
at all.
Okay, so let's price out a Bane kit here. And so I'm trying to figure. Okay, here we go. So here are Bane Thralls. Okay, let's put a max unit of Bane Thralls in there with its UA. I'm not sure why it just gave me the Scarlock commander, but let's Bile Thralls. Hang on, delete that shit.
Yeah, now they're called Bane Warriors.
Jesus Christ, because that was necessary.
I was about to say it's a good thing they made all these changes that were important.
Yeah,
because reasons.
Bane Warriors. So we put the officer and standard in there, and then we will. So that is a 23-point package. And they've lost stealth. There are 12 15s. They've got troll style victim stats they have rise. They lost tough. Am I not mistaken? Yeah, tough is gone. They have Voidbringer.
They still hit hard with the Dark Shroud, which is huge.
Which it is huge. I mean, they're literally POW 13 weapon masters, which is not to be. It really depends on your opponent. If this list was designed to go against like a Trolls or a melee centric army, you would not drop this into a Signar. You would not drop this into a Retribution. You would not drop this into. You would drop it into Skorne. You would drop it into Trolls.
Skorne. Yeah, you would.
We'll get to Skorne. Don't worry. Because Brush Tour would kill us if we didn't talk about Skorne.
Yes.
You would drop it in Protectorate. You might think about it.
Maybe. I mean, I will admit that I see less errants, but I do unfortunately see more Redeemers now.
Oh.
Those dumb things.
If you don't see all of the Idrians ever, your Protectorate player is fucking doing it wrong. Oh my God, they're so good. There's so much back to Mark 1.
Yes. Oh, and it looks like Legionnaires and Brush Tour are both suggesting carry-on thralls, which are the new birdie things.
Let's look at them because, new shit. Why not?
I can honestly say that if these were released when I was playing Cryx, especially Terminus, I would have put, what is the FA on these? 2? I would have put 20 of these in like almost every list because they're so stupidly cheap. And especially with Banewitch, what's her nuts? Or whatever we're talking about, Banewitch Agathia, with her having Parasite, then going up to POW 10 is super respectable, especially when they're less than half a point a model at... Wait, no, they are half a point a model. That's dumb as hell.
610 is a Mark II point level.
Exactly. It's like, yeah, I understand that there's 13 defense, armor 11, but there's 20 bodies, which is absolutely absurd. And now with Parasite, they're hitting at POW 10s, like normal infantry. And they're speed 7 with flight, so they just seem like straight value to me.
So, I mean, let's talk about this for a second, because that's something that has not necessarily been talked a lot about on Mark III, and that is threat saturation. you still need to have an attack in order to kill something. And if this edition reverts back to infantry machine for any reason, it will be because of saturation of attacks. Even with
Yes.
Power Booster, you're still only getting essentially one extra attack out of it. And while we're all happy and shit about all these jacks that we're getting to play these days, threat saturation is still going to be a thing. And if we put 20... God, I hate to make a list on this show that recommends that you go buy 20 of anything, because it's an actual absolute antitheme for anything that this show stands for. But
Yeah.
you're talking about 32 bodies that you have to deal with, because if you don't deal with them, they will deal with you.
Yeah. I mean, I am all on the new loving Warjacks train, 100%. I love it because aesthetically as well as gameplay-wise and fun-wise, it's what I got into this game for. But anyone that tells you that Infantry Machine is dead and gone, that is just... I mean, we might see a swing for a little bit, but I guarantee you when Cryx players come back and see that their faction doesn't suck like they think it does, it will definitely shift the meta back.
Yep. This is the same talk that we had on last week's episode, where we this just in. Menoff, but John is in bed with Privateer Press Marketing. Confirmed.
I will just say, out of all the people that could possibly be in bed with Privateer Press, that is just somewhere below like the Games Workshop CEO is where John would fall.
Yeah, it does.
Being in bed with Privateer.
It goes from some dude in Nottingham to me, as far as people who are willing to call Privateer on their bullshit.
Yeah.
But honestly, we're building a list here that it's a very traditional Cryx list when you think about it. It's a big jack, a couple of arc nodes, some support, and a whole fuck ton of cheap ass infantry. And it turns out that if you don't have, look, let's take for example Unplayable Trash, the list we built on this show last week, and you have champs and warders, and then you have jacks or beasts, let's say. And with those champs, you've got 10 attacks. The warders give you another 5. That's 15 attacks. And then, if you take this list and back it up with a recursion package, you're fucked. So let's do that. Let's put a unit of Mechanothralls, because you can, and then let's put a unit of a Necrosurgeon and Stitch Thralls in there. We are still 3 points away from being full.
Mm-hmm. Oh, this is so dumb.
And then let's look at soul. I don't even know if they have a 3-point soul. I don't know what you can do for. Oh, of course they do. They have Scrap Thralls. They have Soul Trappers. Soul Trappers would be legit.
Soul Trappers, I actually don't hate.
I'm gonna put. We can do a couple of different things here. We can put a Soul Trapper in, and then we could put a Machine Wraith or a Necrotech to repair.
Machine Wraiths are also the super sweet surprise of this new edition, with them being as good as they are.
Yeah.
Like with everyone now taking jacks, and now that these things don't like, if you like remembering back the way Machine Wraith used to work, and you'd look at their card, you would go blind for 5 seconds from seeing all the words,
Right.
and then you'd recover, and you'd be like, never mind, I don't want to play this anymore. But yeah, pretty much just having it be domination is awesome. It's like it's power 12 now. It's mat 6. Like, yeah, I like this stupid thing a lot.
Yeah. So let's go ahead and let's put. So here's your list, folks. This is 75 points. You've got Bane Witch Agathea. You've got the Wither Shadow Combine as their attachment because it's a strictly better Scarlock. You've got the Death Jack, 2 Death Rippers. So you've got the ability to put out all of those POW 14s. You've got, you can place them wherever you want. You've got a Soul Trapper because I hear souls are good. You've got Machine Wraith for extra War Machine nonsense. And is it still incorporeal? Oh, it's Ghostly. Is that incorporeal, the Pac-Man?
Yes, the Pac-Man it's incorporeal.
Okay, so it's incorporeal. So you've got that going for you. You've got Bane Warriors, which can be hard to deliver, but you're going to be placing them behind 20 fucking carry-on thralls, which is going to completely occupy any ranged attack forever. And they're not going to. And then you've got Mechana thralls behind that. Folks, this is stupid. This is a stupid list.
Yeah, I mean, again, don't run it into a gun line. Like, then you're gonna have the bad times. But even then, I don't know. Holy God. And guns still cost a premium, so I'm not convinced that you would be able to escape from it. But yeah, if you're looking to just melee someone, this is just gonna be scary and just in your face.
Bilak asks, "Isn't the Bane Warrior UA hot garbage now?" Let's talk about it. So you've got it gives it still is Dark Shroud like everybody else. Ghostly, yeah, it's a thing. Tactics Rise. Models in this unit rise. If a model with rise is knocked down at the beginning of your maintenance phase, it stands up. So while that is not as good as it was back when they had tough, there is still a shit ton of knockdown in this game. And it's not a bad... Let's take Krios 1. Turns out Krios, he will still murder the fuck out of the universe, but they at least will get up and have a turn the next turn.
Yes. Yeah, knockdown for infantry usually was like the death of it. So having this is definitely useful. The main thing I like on it is their Voidbringer mini feat, which lets them like create new Banes for one turn. But let's see. I mean, it's
it's the standard.
I mean, with Tartarus not being able to do it anymore, like I don't know how often it'll come up, but it certainly is something that your opponent has to play around because they can't commit like living dudes into to try and kill like the carry-on thralls, because if the Bane warriors are running up behind them, then you just turn them all into Bane, so it's like a super bad like loss for them.
Yeah, I think that on their own, they are not what they used to be by any stretch of the imagination. They're nowhere near as survivable, nor should they be near as survivable as they were. These are a great second or third wave unit that if they get to you, you are fucking screwed, because they
have to protect them.
Sure. And that's what the carry-on thralls do in this list. It's guys, we talked about this on the last show. The way to approach Mark III is say, what do you perceive as your strengths and weaknesses of your faction, and then build a list to meet that. By God, that was the same basic thing you should have been doing in Mark II. But the answers are different now. You're not going to be able to do the same stuff that you did before. That doesn't mean the game's broken or shitty or anything like that. It means it's different. Oh my God.
It is definitely a different game for sure.
And God bless them. They gave us a whole new game and they charged us essentially $60 for it. I'm okay with that. So anyway, there you go. So it's unfortunate it's still a beta, but anything like whatever.
Yeah.
We will publish this. This list will be going up on pwmenothjohn.com to check that out. So that's Agathea. And what's our next one, buddy?
Okay, let's see. The next one is coming from Dustin.
Hey, Dustin.
He wants to see Zexar, the new Skorne guy, and Midas. So we can just pick one of those.
I don't know what a Zexar is, and since is that Skorne?
Yeah, he's Skorne.
Let's make Brush Chewer happy by doing some Skorne. Yeah, we like having. Right. Brush Chewer is a roller derby girl, so we're going to make her happy. She's so sweet. Shout out to Brush Chewer. She's as good as it gets. So
what is this guy's title? Oh, Beastmaster Zexar.
Okay. Who the fuck? God, Zexar. All right, there he is. He's yelling real hard. He is a Fury 6 Warlock, Speed 7, Strength 6, Mat 6, Rat 4, 15-14. Slightly not all that different than the Bane bitch. We have two barbed whips in the best of all red plastics. I'm sorry. As a guy that owns Grind, it's just a little bit too reminiscent of that fucking piece of shit.
That was the one thing I was like, when I saw the Battle Box post, the previews, I'm like, oh my God, they just made it in Grind plastic, didn't they?
Yeah.
It's like, no, it's better. Open it up. You lied to me.
It's just Grind plastic. Sorry, folks.
I was lied to.
Yep. So he has, as an action, he has Enrage, just because he's a Beastmaster. We have Maltreatment, because why not? We have Witch Mark from his Barbed Whip. So if this attack hits an enemy model during this model's activation, until the end of that activation, this model can target and automatically hit that enemy model with spells. So what the fuck good is that? He had to walk in within 2 inches in order to be able to hit the enemy with spells.
I mean, he's the problem is he's Mat 6 and Mat 6 and Fury 6, so it's like, wait, I have equal. I mean, I guess you have multiple chances if you try and whip him first, but no, this seems bad.
He must have an amazing nuke then. So let's take a look. Nope, not really an amazing nuke.
That we were incorrect. They tricked us again.
Skorne G. So he's got dead weight. So from 8 inches away, he can, if he just when dead weight destroys an enemy, living or undead model, choose an enemy model within 2 inches of that, and the chosen model must either forfeit its normal movement or its combat action. So you kill a thing next to it, and it fucks up the thing next to it. Got it. Mortality, which is super legit and totally sweet. We used to call it the choir buff.
That spells money.
Yeah, we used to call it the choir buff, the reverse choir buff. And then we have Psychosurgery. I hear that's good.
Yep.
And then we have Pursuit, which is also really good. So pretty solid spell list for a 6 Fury caster. Unfortunately, 6 Fury caster.
Yeah. And he's soft.
Yeah. So while in Zexar's control area, enemy models suffer -3 strength, mat, rat, and threshold. So it gets rid of all of their offensive abilities and makes their beasts super frenzy-ish. Whispers of
super
Torment.
mopey.
Yeah, super mopey. It's okay. That's a thing. So we can build around that. I'm sorry, Skorne. This is gonna be hard. But
Yeah, I was gonna say this is gonna be super uninspired. I'm gonna put the things like I'm just gonna say like these things look good. They should be in the list. If you need super legit scoring advice, I guess go harass Trevor.
Yeah, I'm gonna call this list X thing because I don't know how to spell this thing's name. It starts with an X. It must be Skorne.
Yeah.
So Beastmaster
And there's two A's next to each other, right?
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah. Oh yeah, there are. Yeah, this is definitely Skorne model.
Beastmaster's Zexar. So there, funny bit of trivia for you, Chili. There is a company that makes box erectors called Wexar. So I'm going to call it Beastmaster Wexar because at least he makes boxes erect. There you go. And we have Agonizers seem good.
Agonizer definitely he's getting in there.
Yep.
Those things being FAU now, like I understand that they changed a bit, but they still seem super useful. And how many boxes these idiots have now?
I'm just not sure what to put with this guy. Because Archidon's lost Lightning Strike is now self.
Oh god,
So it's
so
not
dumb.
nearly as good as it used to be. Does he have anything that makes beasts? I mean, he's a Beastmaster, I get that, but mortality. Why is he a Beastmaster and literally all he gets to help them is Psychosurgery?
Yeah, and I mean, I guess he has Enrage, but the unit has Enrage, so why would we not just take that?
Would he be a good choice to put the their Gargantuan on the what the fuck?
The one that doesn't exist yet, or the one
mammoth,
that's
the mammoth. I don't know. I'm searching here. I'm thinking he could sit in the thing's ass and give it Enrage.
Yeah, I mean the big problem about the mammoth is it's like it shouldn't usually need a strength buff. If the mammoth is attacking something, I mean that thing is dead. Like you don't need to buff it. And also, God, holy balls, this guy's still 30
Brush Chewer just came through the internet and slapped me for putting the mammoth in there, so we'll take that back out. I'm not okay with enraging Brush Chewer. So
I actually like the Sentry a lot,
okay.
even though he is very different from what he was back in the day.
Let's look at the Sentry
Mainly
because
he's just so cheap. God, cheap things are so good.
The Titan Sentry. I need to find. I have not even looked at him. So he's. Can someone help me? Why a heavy is Fury 3?
Yeah, that when Tom Guan was dicking around with Skorne the other day, and he made this super wonky Domin Arashith list that had all this weird stuff. It had a cannoneer in it. It was like, oh my god, what's Tom doing? Is he just trolling everyone? And as I watched him play, like just learning everything how the Sentry had changed, it's like, what the hell is actually happening? This model is bad. Like it doesn't seem that good. But then the biggest point is he's 15. Like he is so dirt cheap. He's not gonna be killing anything. I understand that. He did go up to Mat 6, which is good, but 3 Fury kind of is bad. But the huge thing is, he's just a super tanky guy, and he's only 15 points. Like he's super hard to kill.
He lost Locker.
Yeah, exactly. That's what blew my mind. I'm like, wait, you're just gonna Locker over here, Tom, and then Premier can't get to you. And Tom just looks at me with that kind of like deadpan Tom look, and he's like, he doesn't have that anymore, man. It's like, what? And I just looked at the cards like, what the hell happened? Like, so again, it's a completely new model.
Wow, this is not good.
I mean, the thing is, he's very different. He's just so cheap though. 15 points for an armor 21 guy,
and
he still has reach.
Yeah, he's an armor 21 shield guard, which can't be discounted. I mean, that's a thing.
Yeah.
All right, we'll stick him in. I
agree with you. When I saw that he lost that, also let's all notice that his defense went down by 1, and he lost set defense. So now you will actually hit him on the charge.
I don't know how you make a Skorne list without a Titan Gladiator, because you need rush. You just do. Is Tibber still good?
Yes, Tiberian is still good. He is expensive as hell though, but that's fine.
Fuck, 22 points. That's a lot. That's a lot in Mark 3.
Yes.
Because that's like back in Mark 2, that would be Avatar, and Avatar was grossly undercosted at the time. I don't know. Let's see. So he's got crit smite, which crit, whatever. Unless you're playing Ossian and Hyperion, don't count on crits. Irresistible Force, which is Bulldoze and Bulldoze.
Yep.
Okay.
It's old bump and grind from Mark 1.
All right. And he's another shield guard. Shield guards are good.
That's the other thing. Like, as much as the gun lines have come up, there's just shield guards running just freaking everywhere. It's actually pretty obnoxious. But yes, I wouldn't mind having Tiberian in just because he's also just a good beater.
Bro, let's put Tibbers in there. I'm getting some Korea and Brute love. Well, I don't even know what a Korea does anymore.
Yeah, that's another thing that just went completely got completely changed from what he was. Or not, I'm sorry. Not completely changed, but it's not what it used to be. Let's say that.
He's a 7-point version of Mega Mittens from the Retribution.
Yes.
He's a Force Aura, and that's fine. Well, the Basilisk only makes sense if we put something squishy in for infantry. So we'll keep that on the back burner. What do we got so far? We've got an Agonizer, we've got a Sentry, a Gladiator, and Tibbers. It's not bad. We need some Beast Handlers. So let's put in some Beast Handlers. Whatever the fuck they call them. Pain Giver Beast Handlers.
Yep.
This is literally the first Skorne list I think I've ever made. So it's going to be totally legit and super sweet. Don't, no doubt about that.
Yeah.
What do you think? I played against some the set defense infantry guys. The Praetorian was it?
What are those?
Carax?
The Carax?
They were kind of annoying.
Yep, and they're also super dirt cheap. God, all we're going to do, John, is just tell people to buy 20 infantry.
This is so stupid. This is everything I don't stand for. Jesus. And it's not even like how I build the lists on factions I'm good at or familiar with, at least. So I'll put some Carax in here just for shits and giggles. Brush Tour, we're looking at you. Let's see. let's see. Paralysis on a stick. Yeah, that's fine. Slingers. She's saying something about slingers. Let's look at slingers.
Are they Praetor? No, they're just Venator slingers.
Yeah.
This.
They have arcing fire, which is kind of legit. They have acid bath, so on a direct hit they've got erosion. That's pretty fucking good.
And Flare's also pretty good.
I like these guys.
Flare's actually really good because of all your stupid Mat 6 guys.
So we're gonna put some slingers in here.
Yeah, I don't hate slingers.
I like
Flare is just super useful now.
I like POW 10 weapon masters. They're fine.
Yep.
So with a ranged weapon, I hear that's good.
Oh yeah.
God, we're still almost 20 points away from being able to say fuck this list. Are any minions any good with them anymore?
Who?
Any minions?
Minions kind of got neutered, unfortunately. Which I think actually is good because before you were just like, I took Gatorman Posse and everything, and now you don't want to do that necessarily.
So we've got plenty of psychosurgery targets. Mortality. He doesn't have a way to arc it.
Yeah, that's gonna. Well, I mean, that's just a huge problem with Skorne. Always is they don't know how to, with all their magic and stuff. They haven't figured that out yet.
When dead weight destroys an enemy, I mean, what the hell? I mean, you got it once again. Another one that you can't arc that you wish you could. Pursuit. If a target enemy model unit advances during its activation. Man, this guy wants an arc node ability so hard it's hard to believe.
In my experience, whenever you cast Pursuit and you're not Epic Denegra, you die. You're like, I walked up and casted it, and then you either missed it or you got it, but it didn't matter, and someone figured out a way to kill you because it's not a long enough range.
I'm hearing some love for Wrong Eye and Snapjaw in the chat room.
Let us see.
This is so terrible that we're having so much trouble with this.
It's just like, all right, I know that Brushheads been crusading because Brushheads Sarah, right?
And I love her to death. Yeah, Sarah Chu.
Okay, and I know she's on the very noble crusade to get people to stop like pooping their pants about how bad Skorne is. But man, it is hard. When I look at them, they're just so for me right now. Granted, I don't understand them that well. I'm not like Trevor or Nick or Martin or any of the big Skorne guys. But when I look at them, it's just so hard for me to grind through. But apparently, I know there's lists out there that are good, and I'm not going to get on the doom and gloom train. Like Skorne, people just have to put their reps in with them.
Man, okay, so I'm getting a lot of hate from Pygmalion about the Cyclops Shaman. And I get it. Okay, he's got Craft's Talisman. That's an 8 fucking point Craft Talisman. Man, that's hard. And he might also be the only upkeep hate you have in the entire faction.
Yeah, I mean, he's certainly value for that. I will agree with that.
Is there a way we can shove him in here? I mean, Wrong Eye and Snapjaw come to mind as something that would go away, but what's nice about Wrong Eye and Snapjaw is that he gives you power projection into away from the main battle group, which is important.
Yeah. I mean, and we have the Carax in there, right?
Yes, we do. Carax are your disposable infantry in this list.
Yeah, but no, what I really like about Carax is when you have Wrong and Snapjaw standing behind them, and then when things charge in and they have set defense, and you have Starcross, it's like super obnoxious to deal with, actually. Yeah. So I like that too. What do we see? What do we have here?
I don't want to get rid of the Agonizer.
Yeah, I don't see anything I want to cut. God, this list just needs more points, which is the problem I kept on running into when I was trying to dojo some of the Skorne lists. I just want more stuff.
All right, Pygmalion, help me. What do we cut out of this list to make your shaman come in? Because I mean, the sentry is possible.
Yeah.
We could lose the sentry. The sentry's not near what it used to be, and we already have Tibbers in there. So let's cut the sentry, and let's add a shaman.
And And if we're going to do that, then we have points left over. Let's see.
We have 7 points left over.
I would like to see a Morta Theurge in there. I'm assuming since we were gonna have the Craft Talisman Man, what do you call it? Yeah, for the extra range, we're gonna try and shoot spells out. So you're gonna want the Puppet Master from a Morta Theurge, and he's just very utility. Like the reroll is just huge. Sadly, Skorne is not troll, so they don't get 3 of those dudes for value points, but you can get this one guy for 4 points, which is still worth it.
Byloc's telling us we don't need a gladiator, and Brush Chewer is agreeing with him, saying it's a trap. Man, when did Rush become a trap?
Hold on, let's find.
None of your beasts are going
I so
anywhere.
disagree. Okay, here's the thing. There is a lot more, like we already addressed. There's a lot more terrain in Mark 3, or whatever we're calling this game.
I'm sorry. I misread Bylak. I'm sorry. I misread. He says he's questioning someone that said you don't need a gladiator. So it's like I'm sorry. I'm sorry, buddy.
Yeah.
please. I'm reading. I'm slightly drunk, and I'm reading the chat room as we go along here. He's saying we absolutely need a gladiator, which I'm in alignment with. We're 3 points down now, and there's only a few things we can get with that. We can get a Pain Giver Taskmaster.
Nope.
Seems
He's
bad.
running around with a stick, I guess.
I ran into a list with him last week that he actually won the game for the guy because I couldn't cover enough space with my troll list. But that's not going to happen in every game.
Yeah. What minions thing? Oh, how much are freaking feral guys? Those things are
2
still
points.
stupid as hell.
A feral geist would be super legit.
Where is it?
It's 2 points. We would leave us
Okay.
1 point down. I like that. I like a feral geist.
I'm fine with that. Feral Geist is always straight value.
Yep.
Like, he's just good.
Yep. And now that he can actually attack, oh yeah.
And he has crit paralysis because why the hell not?
Why wouldn't you give it to him? So there you go. There's a list. It's Skorne.
And that's all we can. And that's how we did it.
Yep. It has an Agonizer, a Titan Gladiator, Tibbers, Cyclops Shaman. So, we're seeing Bylak Soulward instead of Feral for all things magic. Soulward.
That's a good point.
All right, let's get that Feral guy started. Let's put a Soulward in there.
Okay.
I'm cool with that. I'm a man of the people.
Yes, indeed.
And
I will say one of
the
the big parts about this list is like, I feel whenever I'm building Skorne
Yeah.
lists, I need to be much more focused on what I'm trying to answer or what the specific purpose is for it. Like if I'm trying to think of a matchup, Skorne doesn't feel as generalist as some of the other stuff can be. So I think that's where I think the issues are coming in. And also it's just like, oh my God, Skorne.
the only thing I wish is the only problem with the poop handler is that I don't really have anything that's going to take great advantage of the Eyeless Sight ability.
Yeah, I mean, and he's only handing out one magical weapon, which is definitely useful if you have like randomly like a feral geist or something weird that's just standing in the way and you need to just zod it. But
whatever, we'll put it in there.
Whatever.
I'm a
He's
man
fine.
of the people. It's fucking.
You gotta show
Skorne.
people the poop.
Yeah, every now and again you gotta put the poop in. Hey, look at this poop. And there you go. That is a Skorne list as far as we know it is.
Yep.
There you go. I hope I never make another Skorne list as long as I live. All right. So what's we got? It's 8:10. Neither of us are super media oriented. I watched Johnny Sacco and his giant robot. Watch that shit. It's fucking legit. It cost at least $44 to make that show. Yeah, great. Anything you got to say about the Jungle Book? It's fucking awesome.
Yes, definitely go see it if you still can. Would definitely recommend it. It's even if you're not a kid, you're still gonna enjoy that movie.
Okay, so let's get back to Dojo because I think that's where we're rolling tonight. We're gonna do at least one more list here. We've got 20 minutes, Chili, till the end of the show, and it's not like we're bucking up against Daenerys Targaryen's boobies anymore. So, What's our next one, buddy?
The next one is coming from Robert Dare. All
Darevsky.
right. Yeah,
Darevsky.
Darevsky. Good,
Yeah.
good job. I am really bad at pronouncing things,
Flight
by the
flight
way. If
medic,
you've
by the
ever-
way. Flight medic.
Yeah, if
by
you've
the way.
ever seen me try and say things, and he's wanting to know about Butcher 3.
Let's look at Butcher 3 because that guy, he's probably still good.
I have a couple funny stories about Butcher 3.
Give us a funny story about Butcher 3.
All right, so can I say this? Yes, I can because he's not playing anymore. So David Smith, who's on one of the USA WTC teams, has been trying to find a faction. And when the cards that we totally didn't get early from anyone, and it wasn't questionable at all, ever. But whenever we saw the cards, we were reading through a preliminary, and we were like, "Oh man, Kador seems really strong." And we keep on telling him, "Play Kador, play Kador, play Kador." But he's just been getting thrashed down at Asgard. And Butcher 3, who was used to be like the most scary, unstoppable man of all time,
Yep.
like he cannot get a win with him. Like it's just awful. Like because it's just because the game is so different and there's just so much weird stuff. Also, to be fair, he's been trying to get a lot of reps out against Will, which I mean, what the hell are you gonna do against that? Like, yeah,
It turns out Will is reasonably good at this game.
exactly. It's like, oh my God, Will's
God,
just so obnoxious.
I haven't had Will on in forever, and we need to get him back on the show.
Yeah, for sure. He's I think, did you know that Asgard finally opened up their bar inside the store?
Yes. How's that going
Yes.
for him?
It's going really well.
I hope he hasn't
Yeah,
had
he's
too many
selling
trouble.
all the beers to
Good.
people and wine and mead. So who would have thought gamers like to drink?
Amazing. This is breakthrough shit right here on Painting with Mouth John.
Exactly.
How is it okay for him to be fucking Power 16 Weapon Master?
Yeah, no. Like the butcher is still. I just look at him like, man, this guy is dumb. Also, why is Butcher 3 the one that grants vengeance? It's like, oh man, yeah, when I kill him, those dogs lose vengeance. Or wait, no, we're just losing the game. That's right.
That's right. All right, so let's go through Butcher 3 real quick. He is Speed 5 because you got to tow around all that armor somehow. He is Strength 8, Mat 9, so he's Eris with an axe. He is Rat 5, Defense 14, 18. You know, that's just like Resnick, Chili.
That defense line is so baller.
Yep.
It's like, why?
But he's nothing else like Resnick. Although Resnick in Mark 3 is pretty fucking amazing. We have range 8 on his blunderbuss because I hear he can take a shot, but why would he? And then he's got a reach, an old school reach, POW 16 Weapon Master thing called Lola because it talks to him, so it's super amazing. We have Granted Vengeance. While this model is in formation, models in its unit gain Vengeance. So if you kill a dog, you lose the game.
Yeah.
Let's see. He has Energizer because his threat range isn't quite long enough. He has Flashing Blade, which means he gets to kill everything in the universe nearby him for 1. He has Impending Doom, which is means for cost 2, you get to win the game from 5 inches away.
Yep.
He has Obliteration, which I hear is a pretty good spell at POW 15, range 10. He'll almost never cast it. He has Silence of Death, which is legit. And
That one got better.
Yep. So target friendly model unit gains +2 strength and takedown. So fuck you, trolls. Then he has as his feat Red Haze. Zoctavir immediately gains 6 focus points. He cannot have more focus points than his current focus as a result of Red Haze. Living enemy models cannot charge Zoctavir. Red Haze lasts 1 round. That's pretty good. At least it's not quite as obnoxious as it was in Mark II, as it does not result in him being armor 24. It results in him being armor 23. 6 times.
Yeah. Like okay, I will say though that he is much more killable now because before you just didn't have a prayer. He just walked up there, was armor 24, gave you the finger, and you just like could actually do nothing, and then you lost the game.
How you doing, bitch?
But
Yeah.
let's see.
It turns out he's pretty good. So thank you after dojoing that Skorne nonsense. Thank you for giving us Butcher 3 to work with.
Exactly.
Um,
There's a lot of space for it. There's a lot of get ready for it. There's a lot of design
ding,
space
ding, ding,
that
ding,
you
ding,
can
ding.
put into
Drink,
this list.
Ron. Drink. Hey, Ron. Mm.
Ron, I
Ah.
caught myself before I said it, and I was like, we'll just plow through it anyways.
Power through it, buddy. All right. All right, so let's look at this. So, Energizer, so you get a little extra movement out of your Kador Jacks, which is always good. Flashing Blade, which is him being a murder hound. Impending Doom is him being a murder hound. Obliteration is how that's not relevant is anybody's guess. And then Silence of Death. Okay, so let's go ahead and let's build a list with this ass clown. Let me get this.
I mean, I like Madeline Corbo a lot with this, just because she just helps him. I mean, her what do you call it? Intrigue doesn't do what it used to anymore, but Parlay is just super good. It's like, yeah, he's not as unkillable, but you can just put all this stuff in his kit that just makes him really assholey to deal with.
All right, so let's get this out here. We've got the Butcher Unleashed, which is Commander.
Yeah, Commander Zoctavir, the Butcher Unleashed.
Okay, Commander Orsus Zoctavir. That's got to be... No, that's not it.
Yeah, it has to say the Butcher Unleashed.
It doesn't say that. So, god damn it. Which one is he? We have... Commander Zoctavir, the Butcher Unleashed. There he is. God damn it.
Yeah, he's right under this.
All right, got it. Okay, so you were suggesting putting with him
Corbo.
So we got Mercenary Solos. So we
It should be under attachments.
under attached. Oh, that's right. God,
This
damn
is a very intuitively designed program, John. I don't know if you knew that.
Honest to God, though, all hate aside, they did a great job on this one compared to the last one.
Oh yeah, no, 100%. Like this is like leaps and bounds over it. Like it started off at least usable. Now, granted, there's still things like when I pull up card library, don't know how to do it, or I fat finger something and I just get somewhere like, why am I looking at trolls now? I don't know, and that still gives me a rage stroke. But it is better.
Imagine if this program had come out when War Room released, had Privateer fucking let Tinkerhouse alone long enough to build this.
Yeah.
I mean, it's anyway. Never mind. More hate, more salt. Yeah. There you go. So we got Maddie Corbo along with the dogs and the crazy guy. Because what's a courtesan like more than anything else? A crazy guy. Why wouldn't he be with her? Why wouldn't she be with him? All right, so I'm hearing lots of Ruin and Beast 09 with him.
Ruin 100%. Like the fact that Ruin is just
he's ridiculous.
Bananas bonkers. And I don't know why he is I mean, he's 17 points, right?
He is 17 points.
Because every single time I look at that,
Jesus.
I think I'm wrong.
How is that possible?
Like, I know that's what every single time I look at Ruin, like when we first got spoiled, it's like that is a typo. There's no way that is actually a thing. Because there's no way he can be 17 points. And he came out, I was like, oh no, it is why? And it just doesn't make any sense to me. But whatever, he can freaking be Mat 8 forever and POW 18, oh my god, and Dispel, and oh my god.
All right, so
and Boundless Charge.
Ruin is totally an 8.5 point jack somehow. And then we're gonna go to the Beast.
Yep. Beast 09 also just very strong.
Yep. And so that seems like way more of a battle group than you would normally run. He's still a 6 focus caster. So even with power up, I don't know that you want to go any deeper than this on your battle group, so to speak.
It really depends on what you want. I've seen a lot of lists that run Juggernaut spam, which I'm not necessarily convinced that's good. But basically, I think his battle group is just trying to deliver him up at the table still. Like he does, like with the change to. It's not as reliable with the change to Corbo. Oh, excuse me. But
it's okay. I'm sorry I bored you.
No, you're fine. I don't know if you know about this, John, but I'm getting like old enough to where, like, it gets to be 9 o'clock. I'm like, time for me to go drink warm milk and pass out.
I took a nap today, so I'm all good.
Yep.
But
like basically, I just want like the Butcher's plan. I think still is to deliver himself and just chop the caster's head off.
So here's what we're going to promise the Brushheads in this list. We are not going to suggest you get 20 Iron Fang pikemen in this list.
No, not again. That is what I would have told you in Mark II, but not tonight.
No, we're not going to do that to you. I'm seeing some votes for a Grolar or Behemoth. And Behemoth is an amazing jack.
Mm-hmm.
I'm not sure what Butcher 3 does for him. Other than Energizer.
Yeah, Energizer's good. Like, okay. My big thing is I really like the Behemoth, and when I first saw his stats, I was like, this guy is going in every list.
Yeah.
And he is certainly good. I think he's definitely has a place in a lot of lists. My only big problem is people can focus him down a lot more now.
24 points.
Exactly, and that's the problem. He's one guy, so he's a small footprint, and people can focus fire on him for 24 points, which is absolutely insane. He's still super great value, but I'm just not necessarily convinced. I understand it's like it'd be 8 more points, but like having just like if you took, for example, like 2 destroyers, you would get the 2 bombards as well, and there's 2 bodies, and then they can't just focus fire down on them. But I mean, I like the Behemoth. I just don't know if I like him in this.
I think
And
there
also
are better
his
places.
armor out of 20, he can you can shoot him and mess him up a lot more.
Yeah. So, I mean, if we're taking this list, we need to think a little bit about what we're going to drop it into. Mm-hmm. And it's the Butcher doesn't give a fuck what you put him into. If he gets within, God, what's the range on him? So he can Energizer for
2.
2.
Because they changed it.
And so he energizes for 2. He can charge then for 8, so that's 10. Reach is 12. Impending Doom is another 5, so 17. That's his maximum threat range, isn't it? 17, or unless you kill a dog.
Yeah. I think it's going to be, unless you damage or kill a dog, I believe you're right. Although it's going to be
17, I think, is right if you don't kill
no, it's going to be 15 because you don't get the reach on top of the Impending Doom. It's 5 inches from him. So it's not the 2 plus 5. So it's going to be a 15
Very
inch
good.
threat.
You're right. You're 15-inch threat. That's correct. So nobody's killing a dog. I don't count the
Or
vengeance.
damaging, yeah.
Nobody's killing a dog. They're not that stupid. I
mean, you would hope not, right? So...
I mean, he is an assassination machine, but when you drop him in, what are you going to drop him against? You're going to drop him against reasonably low model count armies, I'm thinking?
Yes. I would have said trolls until I watched Will beat David with a Mountain King. Like, handily. Like, the fun fact there is the Mountain King just has to yell at the Butcher, and as long as he can yell at the Butcher 10 inches away, the Butcher cannot get to the Mountain King ever.
When you say the Mountain King yells at the Butcher, what are you talking about?
He deafens the Butcher. And since it's a spray, you can't shield guard it. So
I need to reread the Mountain King because I didn't know he could do that. Anyway, long story short, so I'm playing in a full Steam event on Saturday, this coming Saturday. I'm playing Mountain King, Glacier King, and a Night Troll with Berica. That's my entire list for the whole tournament. It's only 50 points, and I wanted to get Berica into it because it's my best painted troll warlock. But as I think more and more about it, it's like that's a pretty good goddamn list at 50 points. I don't know what deals with that. Mm-hmm. So anyway, long story short. So okay, so let's so you're gonna drop this into potentially low model count armies. You got Beast 09 and Ruin, which are good. Ruin gets a little bit worse in low model count armies. Oh, really, Wonky Kong? You're thinking about bunny spam. What a fucking shock. This is my shocked face, Wonky Kong. Who isn't thinking of that with Osram?
Let's see. I like. Okay, just in general, I think. Oh God, they rename these things, didn't they?
No, the war arc.
Widowmaker scouts are in every list for me ever to clear the way.
Yeah,
and
they're great.
Super legit. So I think they should be in like pretty much every Khador list.
So
Someone
I'm
else, who
sorry.
was it, pointed out putting Saxon in the list to give Pathfinder
That's
to the
great.
Butcher,
Yeah.
and I like that too.
So
Vector Falcon, yeah, I
let
would definitely put him in.
let's get Winter Guard. I'm sorry, Widowmaker Scouts, and then should we put the solo with it? Does the solo do anything for it anymore?
Does he still give them Swift Hunter? Let us find out.
Um, Wonky Kong, I'm only busting your chops because I love you. Um, for fuck's sakes, can I no longer use this program? I need to probably drink more.
It still gives them Swift Hunter,
Yeah,
but he does have Deadly Shot. It's okay.
I'll take
I'm
him.
not super in love with him,
We can
but
lose
he's
him.
good.
He'll be the first to go. So let's put him in there. And then what was the other one you mentioned, buddy?
Saxon Orc.
Yeah, he's super legit. You got to give him. I mean, he's a wonderful solo to put in there to give you the Pathfinder for Zokvadir. Same reason you put him in there with Resnick.
Yep. And the other thing I would definitely put in, I would add 100%, is the unit that like is possibly going to end the world for Khador, which is the Winter Guard Rifle Corps boat with the 3 Rocket Grenadiers and Kovnik Joe.
All right, let's go ahead and do this. I mean, they traded one Death Star for a different one in this edition.
Yeah, they traded it for like maybe a better one.
Yeah,
Like
the people before were actually playing anyway, but so
Yeah.
3 of the Rocketeers,
yeah,
and then we're gonna add Joe, right?
yes, absolutely.
Well, that's 59 points somehow.
Yep.
What doesn't this list do well so far? It's got 3 heavy hitters. It's got 2 heavy hitters and an assassination threat.
And it has plenty of projected range threat because of the Rifle Corps and the Widowmakers. Maybe you want.
Is it a little solo heavy? I mean, it's a little solo light. I mean, in that
Maybe. I do. Who is this saying? Who just said this? Vector Falcon is pointing out Alton Ashley, and I do like Alton Ashley in the list
All right, we can do
because
that.
he has grievous wounds, and you can. That means you can just shoot things, with the Widowmakers and with Winter Guard,
Yeah.
and just like as soon as you knock out an aspect, you tap it with Alton Ashley, and then you ignore it.
I'm
It's real dumb.
I'm pretty sure that that Nigel will be pretty happy with us for that.
Yeah, Oh, Nigel.
While we're making the Ocean's 13 version of Ocean's 18 version of Butcher 3, why not Eris 1?
Yep, she's also very good. I don't hate her.
We got 4
God, she
points
actually got
left.
so good now.
Oh,
I'm so,
she's so
like,
amazing.
happy to see how good she is.
So Wonky Kong is suggesting a shield guard for Butch, and that's not a terrible idea.
Yep, I think an
Um,
Ogre and Boker does just fine.
So let's bring up an Ogre and Boker and see if we got enough points for him.
Yes, I think we do.
No, we're 1 short, which
Oh, 1
means
short.
that I believe that the Widowmaker solo needs to go away, or we lose 1 Rocketeer.
Nah, I like the full Rocketeer boat. Bye bye,
Okay.
Widowmaker solo. You will be missed.
Okay, but that's then makes us 3 points short. We might have room for something else. So let's
I am
see.
seeing a min unit of battle mechanics, which
That's legit.
I don't like hate in any list now. If you're a War Machine player, you should probably consider, if you don't own them already, buying a unit of mechanics, or whatever it is. If it's Protector, if it's Protector, you already had those dumb things. But if you're like
Man.
Signar or Khador and you don't own one of those units, they're totally worth it now.
The chat room is coming alive with Drop Eris. Wow. Really?
Why?
Okay, so
do you
let's examine
need-
this. Let's examine this for a second. You don't need
All
Eris,
right.
they're saying. So Warjack, it's a disruptor, a reliable disruptor bolt. It gets rid of focus and fury now.
I mean, I can understand what they're saying, since you're not gonna, since you don't really need to disrupt necessarily. Yeah, Wonky Kong has it. He's saying that she's 7 points and Butcher does not care if he goes in. Um,
Fine, fine. I'm okay. We can. I can. I'm a man of the people.
yeah, I don't mind losing her. I mean, it's just so hard to pass her up, but I don't disagree.
So let's put the let's put that marksman back in. That gets us 3 points under. What's a Winter Guard artillery captain?
Oh, he's another thing that won't exist for 2 years, so we probably don't need to worry about him.
You think?
Yeah, like I'm not holding my breath honestly for anything that's in this book that we haven't seen a model for.
That's fair. So I think we should not build lists that people can't go out and buy. Yeah, we got Kel Balok in there, so we're all good. I think I
No, do we have Alt and Ashley? I don't think we have Kel.
I thought I put Kel in here. We'll put Kel back in here. Hang on. I thought I put Kel Balok in here.
Yeah. If you have the option between Kel Balok and the Widowmaker Marksman, if you have the point, Kel is usually I think the better choice since he has 2 shots.
Okay, so let me get rid of the Widowmaker Marksman again, which puts us a whopping 2 points under, which means you can put a Gobber Tinker.
Yep. Wait. Or I think that means we can expand the battle mechanics to max.
That's actually not a terrible idea because then they're a little bit around later on in the game. It becomes less easy to make them irrelevant. Battle mechanics we expand up to 5 points, and that is a list, folks.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, I think it's pretty good. So we have Butcher 3 with his Dogies. We got Madeline Corbeau, the Ordic Whore. We have Ruin, Beast 09. We have Saxon Oric. We have Kovnik Joe. We got Alton Ashley, an Ogren Boker. Jesus, this is Ocean's 18.
I mean, it's kind of getting there.
Jesus.
Yeah.
We have Widowmaker Scouts. We have the Winter Guard Rifle Corps with 3 of the Rocketeers, and we have battle mechanics. So, what does it deal with? It deals with low armor infantry. Quite well. It'll kill, 6 models a turn with its eyes closed. It deals decently with beasts as a result of Alton Ashley. It's got an Ogren Boker to keep Eris's off our ass. The Rifle Corps have double gun, right? Yeah, they got double gun. And so you've got some combined ranged attacks to go up against some potentially hard to hit items.
The ability that no one thought they would ever get.
Yeah. I like this list. I mean, I know that Vector Falcon is having some issues with it, and I'm sorry, buddy. Vector Falcon, I would encourage you to become a patron of the Painting with Menoth John show, patreon.com/MenothJohn. And, with patronage comes access. And with higher access levels, you could get your will on this list a little bit more easily. So, so there you go. We made we made some lists tonight, there, buddy.
Yep. I will say that again. Play all these lists. Play as many as you can to figure it out. Let's see. I do like it. I think it's fine. The tweaking, you just have to tweak it based on what your experience is playing with it. I don't hate anything in it. I know people are hating on the mechanics because they are saying you don't need attrition. When you're shooting at things in the game, the jacks are going to be a huge threat because ideally you should be able to get to the butcher. If I'm shooting at the butcher, then you're already messing up. So I'm going to try and soften the jacks and try and knock off an arm. And there's nothing sadder than when Ruin's axe or Beast O'Nine's axe falls off. And you're just So mechanics are always straight money, but I do agree that you could probably drop them to men if you wanted to and find some other points.
So, at DM Lich, as a Patreon, I'm concerned about the mechanics. And Brushheads as a Patreon, fuck Kador.
There's so much the hate.
Oh my God, ladies and gentlemen, get your Pokemon Go out right away. Get it out right away. Here it becomes. It's a very rare one. It's the Spencer Sar. Ladies and gentlemen, there he is. Be ready to catch him. It's a Spencersaur. He can only be gotten as an initial Pokemon. You have to be careful with him. He's going around. Make sure you throw your Pokeballs accurately. He's in the Wampa hat. That could mean anything. It could mean that he's hard to hit. It could mean that he's wearing a Wampa on his head. One of those two things. So there you go. And then, ladies and gentlemen, we're going to have one more very, very special extra one, a political Pokemon. If I can find out where he might be. He obviously has not decided. We're going to add him here. Ladies and gentlemen, we got one more of these Pokemon to show you. Ladies and gentlemen, representing the Democratic nominations for the here they are. There is Hillafree and Bernie.
Oh my god, this is going to be just a disaster when it comes up on my screen. I can't wait.
There you go. There they are. Make sure you're throwing the Pokeballs at them because you want to catch these two very rare Pokemon. They're not going to be able to be found on any others. There was no Trumpachew because I don't put racist fucks on my show. So there you go.
A strong call.
I'm not political at all. If you like Trump, I'm sorry. You cannot be a watcher of this show. I'll be okay with that.
Yeah. Oh god, they just showed up.
There they are.
Nice.
So, ladies and gentlemen, there you are. They're going away. Oh, you didn't catch them. If you didn't catch them, you didn't catch them all. Ladies and gentlemen, you know what? Here. Oh goodness, I think I pissed off Pygmalion. I hope not, because he was a very good contributor in tonight's show. Hurls ball at screen. Excellent. Well played, Pygmalion. Ladies and gentlemen, we are at the end of another Painting with Menoth John Sunday Night Extravaganza. Chili, I can't thank you enough for being a part of the show.
Well, thank you for having me on again. It's been fun again.
I hope that people have enjoyed the new set here at Painting with Menoth John. I think it's very it helps counteract some of the salt that we've had for the last couple episodes. Ladies and gentlemen, we are going to get back to your podcast of positivity in the next week or so here. Honest to God, let's not mistake anything. Chili and I love this game. We love it with our whole hearts. We hate what has recently been happening to it, and we hope for better. And it's not going to keep us from playing the game, and it's not going to stop us from trying to come up with awesome lists and paint cool stuff. Could be painting some Gobber Tinker. He's mostly done. I've got a few washes and a whole bunch of detailing. Might do a little bit of midweek action on him. But ladies and gentlemen, it's 8:38. We're a little bit long. Chili, thanks again for being on the show.
Thank you very much. It's been fun. And just to reiterate what John said, I mean, if we didn't love the game so much, then we wouldn't really care if it messed up. So that's why it sucks so bad to see them crapping like the bed when in terms of production and everything. But no, keep on playing, painting, and everything. It's still a really fun game.
Yeah, and remember, folks, next week we're going to have David D.C. Carl on the show. He's an amazing guest, and he is the D.C. Unleashed next week. He is done with all of his contractual obligations, and we are going to get full cybernetic D.C. next week. He is the world's greatest cyborg, and we are going to welcome him to the show. And I'm really looking forward to talking to him about Dark Souls, the board game, as well as Guild Ball. And also, for the first time ever on the Painting with Menoth John show, we're going to get a chance to talk about Privateer Press stuff with him. So, on behalf of Mike, mighty right hand, Chili, thanks for being a part of the show. Couldn't have done it without you. I am Menoth John, and we will see you here next week on Painting with Menoth John. Good night, everybody.
Good night, everyone.